Okay, I just want to test to make sure the new generator actually works. So all I'm going to do is just literally contact test sort of thing, just to make sure it is going to work. That is just to keep the wires in the right kind of a place, just so you can close enough to have contact, but not touching anything else metallic that's going to damage it. And I'm just going to touch it to the wires. Hopefully that will see if it works. Yep, that's a functioning generator. Next, I'm going to take my existing. God, that does smell really, really nice. I'm not an ozone addict, but that does smell nice. So what I want to do is to have these all bunched up together. Oh, this could go so wrong. Not going to be big enough. Yeah. No such thing as a hole that's too small. Okay, there we go. Is that going in there? Yes. Right. Okay, this could be very, very bad. Very, very bad indeed. It's interesting as well because my brain tends to work idiosavant style in such a way that I'll do things without actually knowing why I do things, and it's not until sometimes years later that it comes together. Like buying these clips, these little clip things. I didn't need them, no reason to buy them, but yet I bought them, and I do definitely need them now. So that it's interesting how these things work. What have we got there? Oh, bit of metal that'll do. I just want something to hold those wires together. If it does flash back, I could get killed, but that's my choice. And I'd rather die by my own hand than, asbestos and baby powder, or Aptimal, or Danone products, or one of these other Nestle products, all made in Israel. Oh, what a surprise. Okay, so first test to see if there's going to be a feedback to the other generator. Nope, nothing. Nothing at all from there. Same with that, nothing at all. It could be. Let's have a look. See how that works. It could be that there's too much draw. Yeah, there's nothing going through at all now. Hope it's not the battery. Yeah, nothing at all going through that. That's a bit weird, because you would have thought, unless you have to have it individually polarized, like that. Can I separate those with this thing? It could be that you might need to have positive to positive and negative to negative for it to work. Just a thought. Just a thought. I'm not an electrician. No. Switch those over. That way. I mean, it's just like an idea. I could always just do them as two separate units completely. That was the original. Well, bugger, that works. Right, so what we've got to do is keep... it's going in a circuit. So it's coming up one wire and down the other. So I need to make sure I keep the two up wires together and the two down wires together for it to work. Don't zap me, get off. Don't zap me, isn't it? Yeah, so that's those two for this one. So if I had another clip connecting, is it other broken up clip. There it is. So in theory, if I have those two together and have those two together like that, it may not work because they're actually touching at the bottom as well. See if that makes any difference. That side. Yep. So that's actually giving us a double whammy. Yep, that's because they're touching. So if I were to attach both batteries at the same time, that should give me more than double the power output of a single one because it's a cumulative. So instead of just having 5 on one side and 5 on the other, it would be more than 5 because of some of your parts and all that bollocks. So yeah, that's the next plan. Nipples. I've yet to meet a woman who doesn't like having her nipples clamped. Anyway, different genders and orientations, all the rest of it. So the idea is going to be to have these two like this with 4 prongs sticking out. Hopefully they won't cancel each other out. And that way, instead of having, I mean, that bloody taser I put together yesterday, it's pretty freaking potent. And this would be double, more than double. I'm hoping to make something that would be strong enough to start. I'm not doing it to zap people. I'm not doing it to zap people, really. I'm actually doing it because I want to make a fire lighter. I want to make a nice, good fucking fire lighter. So rather than just doing my little click thing, which is the arc lighter, I want something a bit more man, you know, something that's going to like incinerate things, like when I'm trying to start a fire. So I could do it as a double overlap. Yeah. Right, so that's going to be the next project, because these are all fully functional. At least they were last night. So that should still be going okay. Mind you, I do tend to piss about with things, and yeah, that one's not working now for some reason. Why is that not working? Because I'm not holding the wires properly. Yeah, see, because it's a thing, it's actually sparking down there lower. So if we put something on to separate them, like that, so it's not connecting until it gets out there, like that. Highly scientific equipment, a close peg. So that should give me the proper arc. Yeah, it's actually arcing in more than one place, you see, because of the length of the wire. There. Do it like that. Another thing is that, as I showed with the, if you actually get to watch the video, the second part of me making that little stunner thing, by shortening the wires drastically, you get a much more powerful arc. So if I just shorten this down to here and take off that, you know, cut width little thing, it would be a much more powerful thing. So yeah, that's going to be the next experiment. Vodka not included.